maybe a future opponent for Nashwan Aziz or Joe Gascoigne is going to come out of this one. And you've got to know Renegade MMA, if they've delivered the likes of Leon Rocky Edwards to the world, they can bring you up in the right way. Owen Anslow, well, he is definitely wanting to bring that pain. He's 1-0 currently. He's got a round 1 armbar victory. So we know that he's dangerous on the ground. Has he put it together on the feet as well? Are we going to see some fast hands? Are we going to see some slick submissions? We know that when you're carrying, when Team Renegade is written across your chest, you've got all the makings of a champion. And Owen Anslow definitely wants to get all that smoke here tonight in Coventry. MMA Battle Arena bringing it to you in the bantamweight division. Eric Nordin representing Apex MMA. He's 0-2 at the moment. He's a very explosive fighter. He's your traditional powerhouse, a bit on, possibly going to be shorter than Anslow, but he does have the ability to just be explosive, to dominate this bantamweight, to dominate any bantamweight bout. He just hasn't quite found the magical mix yet. He's 0-2 at the moment. He wants to get in that winner's column. You know he's going to be hungry for it. He's got the long, rangy fighter of Owen Anslow. Final instructions for the team, and Eric Nordin from Apex MMA. He's going to make his way down the MMA Battle Arena walkway and into the cage where only one man will be victorious. All the preparations done, the weigh-in's been done, the hands are wrapped. All that's left now is to do the business. He comes in incredible shape as always, does Eric Nordin, looking very powerful, very springy, getting his final instructions there from Stuart Davies. Stuart Davies refereeing this fight. Owen Anslow, Eric Nordin. Nordin comes sprinting out. Oh, there's a quick head kick coming up, and there's this nice, this is almost your prototypical new age fighter in Owen Anslow. He's very rangy. He's able to keep you on the end of those strikes, and he's able to stand up quickly. But Nordin stays on those legs.
And this was what we've seen from Nordin in the past. He will shoot, suck those legs away, hold you down, and do serious damage.
Oh, he's got almost that Khabib ride there. He's tied up those legs, and now he's moved himself into a mount position.
This is interesting. Nordin.
Anslow desperate to get back up. Nice short right hand there from Nordin.
And Nordin's always got to adjust his game plan. He's, often he's outreached by his opponents. He's a shorter, squatter guy, but that actually lends itself to shooting underneath, going for those doubles.
He's a southpaw fighter.
Yeah.
Even though Anslow's the longer fighter, he seems to be almost sprinting to catch up on his punches. We've seen some of the counters from Nordin land already. He catches the leg, another takedown for Nordin.
He's vulnerable to a triangle there, but he's holding that foot, stopping him. Anslow getting his right foot out and keeping him safe, and he's going to step over it, suck it in Khabib style. He's looking to pass now, maybe a back step. All the triangles back.
Yeah, triangle's a danger there.
Oh, postured out of it and then straight back into close guard. Angles off, and this is Owen Anslow.
Look at that nice angle into the
off.
Sweep there. Anslow, we know he's had a first round finish before, and he's looking for it again. Oh, nice. He underhooks the leg. Look at that.
Yeah, this is Anslow's second fight. In his first fight, he won by round 1 armbar, and I'm sure he'd love to replicate that here in the Battle Arena cage.
Lovely for Nordin to stay on top.
Great work by both fighters. Very high level chess game going on here. Nordin trying to suck those legs in. Anslow trying to get back to, use that knee shield to get back up. Nordin aware of it, driving forward to the cage.
Seeing Nordin in a mount position now with 40 seconds remaining, and Anslow's able to reverse it so strong.
And a Granby roll.
He uses that to maintain himself in position. Big uppercuts landing for Anslow. Seeing possibly that Nordin tends to duck his head in off of his jabs. Great push kick.
Two of my favorite fighters here to watch at Battle Arena. With variety and beautiful technique.
If this is the standard of amateurs, I can't wait to see what the professional fights are going to bring. A nice knee lands, backing him up. And Nordin's going to see the second round out. Well, he's going to see a second round, pardon me.
I have no idea how you scored that risk, Steve, because, I mean, Nordin got some great takedowns. Anslow was very active off his back, looking for triangles, throwing things up, got back to his feet, maybe had a little better with the striking exchanges. Beautiful round.
Just go back to damage. It just seemed that Nordin's head was getting snapped back a little bit more. There was that little pause there caused by the teep kick. In my book, in the Eddie Bravo scorecards, Eddie's telling me to look into it, but he's got it 1 round for Owen Anslow. So, few adjustments to make for Eric Nordin. We noticed him ducking his head off of his right hand jab, right? He has a southpaw, so he's ducking in and trying to maybe look to come over with the left hand, but ducking in is setting up those uppercuts for Anslow. How does he got to stay a little bit more upright or throw more feints? I'm not really sure. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think Anslow's the one that probably needs more adjustments. This is Nordin's game, is throw, shot, shoot underneath. Anslow, I'd like to see him trying to use that range. If you've got such a big physical advantage, you want to be using that in the cage. And obviously, maybe that round 1, his debut fight, he won by armbar, so he knows he's got that well to go to. But yeah, try and keep on the end of your jab. But it's tough when everyone thinks it's really easy being a tall guy, but if you have someone short who just keeps coming forward, it's a nightmare. It's just pressure.
The other thing is you're probably punching down, losing a bit of your range and power in the way. Nice kicks, though, from Anslow. He's happy to switch stances. Notice that he was kicking to the calf in the first round.
Yeah, Nordin's trying to time a hook, like got eye poked.
No, it's not too bad. He's already blinking it out.
Yeah, Team Renegade, I mean, part of Renegade Jiu-Jitsu as well. And I mean, what a gym. You got Leon Edwards, Tom Brees, Fabian Edwards, and they've basically got pros on every possible show you can name, and in the UFC as well. And it's become this little hub in Europe. Some of the best fighters.
Oh, he steams in. Right. Big right hand lands. Nordin is just tough as nails, though. Now he's in on the body lock.
Yeah, he's got that double underhooks. He's going to be using that, trying to suck him in, get the takedown. Good
head position from Nordin. Is, you know, he's got that top of his forehead right under the chin of Anslow. But Anslow drags the arm, breaks away.
Yeah, he did well to break the grip. Oh, Nordin over the top of that right hook. Oh, but he eats a stiff jab. Another right hook for Nordin. The hooks are landing for him. What he can get inside.
It feels like Anslow's overcommitting to his right hand, and that would be interesting to see if Nordin could come back with that right hook. It's one of those, put the lights out.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things, Steve. You don't actually want to throw 100% power all the time because it slows you down a little bit. To pull it back is a little bit slower. You kind of want to pepper 60-70% shots until that big one where you see the opening. Anslow with the pressure. Knees by both fighters.
And that could be the path to victory for Anslow, but we know that Nordin needs to turn the tables a bit, get a little bit more power. Oh, there you go. You see, that was weird that Nordin's able to connect at this almost at the same time that Anslow does. Even maybe just Nordin's got like a crazy reach. Goes to the body.
You know, he's also going to be in the gym with taller fighters every day, and he's going to be so used to ducking in those shots coming in inside. And there is a point of rage where Nordin feels quite comfortable, and it's almost awkward for Anslow because he's just too close to him. I'm not trying to say it's easier being shorter. I'm just saying there's moments.
Oh, it's so much easier in the short. Look at that. He's on the legs. Nordin does well to hike him up, but then a nice little trip onto the outside there.
Yeah, beautiful throw. Nordin's going to be trying to work off his back. And for our viewers at home, when you're onto your back, you want to do that. You want to kick on the hips and be able to get back to your feet, make space.
He popped up so quick, did Nordin. He's always in the fight. Oh, nice knee lands to the breadbasket there.
Oh, beautiful. The same throw back. Anslow.
So drag, Matt return. Anslow heavy on the whizzer.
Yeah, looking for a trip. He's going to roll through his Anslow. He's got honey hole.
He could end up on knee bar. Oh,
come on, Anslow. Buy the Danaher DVDs. You got this. DVDs. No one watches DVDs anymore.
Nope.
Nope.
Gotta stream it.
That's it.
BJJ Fanatics.
Now you can see our fighters there, laid on the Eric's Fight Gear logo. Absolute best training equipment in the business. Now, Steve, I had a question for you. In that round, we saw Nordin with a very strong double underhook position. And Anslow was able to get out of this. I know you're a highly experienced wrestler yourself. Can you break down how he's able to get out of such a dominant position in grip?
The tendency is to, when you're in that kind of bear hug position, chest to chest, is to stay there, to stay in front of your opponent while you've got double unders. Whereas the stronger position is to go perpendicular to them. And by that I mean almost make a T with your hips and their hips. Bring yourself around. You can use your elbows to kind of lift yourself up, lift their elbows up and move yourself to the side of them. And that way you can pull their hips in and get a lift and actually kick their legs out from under them rather than just trying to pull their stomach in and try to bend their posture backwards. So that's kind of like a fallacy. You feel like you're in control, but you're not. Yeah. And there's no, and oftentimes when you get those double underhooks, people just back away from you. So there's not a possibility of throwing them over top of you because they're just running away from you. There are little trips and things that you can do, but mostly it's about moving to that side position. Anslow's smiling across at Nordin. I think Nordin's smiling at Anslow.
Yeah, beautiful. Like, incredible gas tanks by both fighters. They are fired up for round 3.
They are. I'm so surprised how, like you said, Chris, how well Nordin's doing. Look, and again, he's almost loading up his shots, but he's ducking his head in, and he's just slipping under those punches of Anslow. And again, Anslow just ends up so close to him. And there you see, now he's on the double unders. And this is really tricky because when you want to step around and catch that leg, so I would like to see Nordin step around with his left foot and try to get perpendicular like a T with the hips, like I said, or he can actually bring his hip in front and start pushing Anslow's hips up the cage and maybe look for an ankle pick. But in those cases, it's quite dangerous for them to throw up like a triangle or something. We've seen Paddy Pimblett do that against the cage in Cage Warriors. So
Anslow did a great job of just turning off then. He saw the moment, there's a little lapse in the pressure.
That was a beautiful takedown. Really well timed from Nordin. Just gets in low on the legs. And now he needs to, nice Granby roll.
And that's something you don't see a lot of high-level guys able to pull off that Granby roll out position, but we've seen it a couple of times from Anslow. But Nordin now passing such back into the guard of Anslow, who does have that armbar win in his previous fight.
This was a good fight.
Triangle.
No matter how you slice it, this is a great fight for Anslow and a great fight for Nordin because they're both showing what makes them very savvy and dangerous fighters.
Yeah.
Nordin's right on top, and look, he's staying chest to chest, pressure down, being patient. He's not rushing anything, even though we're winding down, 90 seconds left in the fight.
In this half guard position, it's a tough position, you know. We call it half guard because Anslow's trapped Nordin's left legs, and Nordin needs to slide it through just like that. Now he's got his crucifix, he's got the arm trapped, both arms trapped.
This is great. This
hammering
is great.
In shots.
He just needs to make sure that he keeps that pressure down, like we've been saying, and keeps hitting. Yeah. Because Anslow's only going to have so many times he can go for those big bails.
Yeah, it's tiring as well. He's going to be exhausting himself. Yep. But there's a minute left.
This is a finishing position for Nordin.
Yeah,
so this could cause the fight to be scored, or the round to be scored 10-8. He could also catch a Americana, though it is difficult to finish. Look at that. Beautiful. 45 seconds remaining in the fight.
Sometimes you also see people step over for a reverse triangle. But I think he's probably going to let us stay in this crucifix, very early UFC-esque.
Just keep him there and just keep pounding away.
Yeah, he is eating some heavy shots. Stuart Davis, excellent referee, taking a really close look at this.
Something else I'd like to see Nordin do here is get his forearm in front of the face and use that to pry up the neck and then hit.
And this is amateur rules. If this was elbows, it would be an entirely different story.
Over by now.
Nordin would be able to slam them in. These big padded amateur gloves make it give Anslow a little bit of peace. Slamming in those shots right to the end.
Yeah, last few seconds of the round, and it's going to be Nordin on top to finish the fight.
I mean,
wow,
it's got to be a 10-8 round. How do you see that? That was a half the round. He's just on top, not taking a thing.
Finishing position there for Nordin. Whether he dropped the first two rounds is going to be all, well, we're going to find out in a moment, but it's all up to the judges. Just never out of it is Nordin, and like Chris was saying, like really alluding to there, when you're a little bit shorter, you're used to fighting such taller sparring partners, so you're in a comfort zone. Whereas Answorth, he might be sparring with people the same height as him, the same reach, the same kind of overall look as him, and he's punching down onto Nordin, and you can lose a bit, not only a bit of your distance, but you can lose a bit of your power as well, and that can be very tricky to try to regain. Seeing the head referee. He's giving his decision. Let's go to Chris for the official decision. And the judges hand it over to Owen Anslow. The Renegade Fighter goes 2-0, and he's taken to the limit by Eric Nordin, who we'd love to see back in the MMA Battle Arena cage soon. Remember, we're brought to you by Eric's Fightwear. Prefer chat. If you want to chat, we prefer privacy, so get yourself to Prefer Privacy Chat.